You are now listening to the Super Coach Experience. The Super Coach Experience. The Super Coach Experience.
Good evening and welcome back to the Super Coach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Savage Turbos. I'm joined here by the three-fourths of the Super Coach Experience panel. Jake, the coach of Ramian Noodles.
Hey, how are we?
And Mikey, the coach of Trip Jacket Mafia.
How's it going, guys?
Very good. So Tim is obviously not here at the moment, taking a little break from just the social aspect of Supercoach. He's going to come back firing. He took it pretty hard on himself, not captaining Tom Trbojevic and getting in David Fifita instead of Ruben Garrick. So, them sort of decisions really, I don't know about you guys, but when I make a decision that I know when I was leaning one way and I go another and it turns out being the worst decision, I do put it pretty hard on myself, and it makes you feel down just for the whole week, don't you reckon?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, same sort of thing. But being ranked so badly as myself, it doesn't really affect me as much. But because he's having such a good season, just the slightest, I guess, bad decision in that will definitely affect you more.
100.
Yeah, I was in a similar boat last year, Savs, and I took it really hard when I made a few key decisions to not end up, I really was close to that top 10. But, yeah, it is what it is. You got to deal with it. Everyone deals with it differently. But, yeah, he'll be back firing.
It's honestly, it just proves to you that it's pure luck, because getting in Dave Fifita early is a very good decision, in my opinion. I guess before everyone else has jumped on him. It just didn't work out for him this time. And someone like Ruben Garrick, who was on 1 at halftime, it was looking like a masterstroke with Fifita on 60 at halftime. And to see how Manly ended up that second half, I guess we can stem this on to how do we go last week, boys, and which of us captained Tom? For once, I didn't. And, hating life.
Yeah, well, I think it was only me of the three of us, but yeah, it feels like such a long time ago because the last round was actually a fortnight ago after we all had that week off. But yeah, I was very shocked to see Tom get his highest ever score and you not capture him, Sav. I know it would have really hurt for you, but yeah, man, look, I got lucky.
Once he hit about 150, I just completely forgot about Supercoach, and I wanted him to get that record. I just wanted to see him do it. The record is deservingly his one day, so he will get it. He'll get it maybe this weekend. Who knows? He actually is predicted to get 213. So. Very
crazy projections.
I know, right? Interesting days. But I was in Adelaide. We're driving back to Sydney on the Sunday, and I couldn't really watch the game. So I talked to myself into thinking Hines was the better captain option. And looking at the scoreline, you would have thought Hines would have been a really good captain option. But honestly, since he signed that contract, he hasn't really gone above and beyond. What do you guys think of Hines going forward? My opinion is he's a hold until Pappy comes back, but is he a sell earlier? Like, do you not need to hold on to him, Mikey?
At this stage, I've sold him. My plan the whole week was selling him. Like, obviously, with the Cleary conundrum, which I'm going to talk about, we'll all talk about very shortly. It's there's a lot of decisions to make this week, and the decisions are very crucial. So, I guess you're just going to collect all the data you can and put it in. But yeah, with Hines, I'm reluctantly to selling him. I know he's being a keeper in the centre wing. Hasn't gone to the heights of hitting out like over hundreds, but still the scores he's hitting as well, very good. I think you can hold him till Pappenhausen comes back, but at the same time, with the buy round coming up, his break even's getting pretty high, and if you get rid of him, you can really stack some money to set up your final team. Like most of us in here, we're low on some trades, so I don't mind burning through these trades if you're setting up a final team. You're just going to have to, if you set up your team now, and then just make sure you got enough depth to cover injuries and hold a few for the end. But it's a volatile strategy. But I guess if you haven't saved any trades, it's the strategy you're going to have to do.
Definitely. Jake, what is your strategy moving forward with these 5 trades? How many are you using? How many have you used throughout the year? And what's your plan going forward?
So I've saved 2 up until this point, which is clearly not enough when I look at how many trades I've got left. I'm using all 5. I don't have to use all 5, but sort of, I guess, having 5 and sort of being able to maneuver your money around, it's kind of the best time to use them. So I'm using all 5 this week, mainly to improve my team for the run home, I guess. So I'm bringing 2 players that I'll 100% finish with. But just on Hines, I think he's a hold until Pappenhausen gets back. I mean, he's averaging nearly 100 when he's played 80 minutes. He's versus the Roosters this week, who you'd think, oh, yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but the Roosters have been leaking points like crazy. And we don't know when Pappenhausen's going to be back. Could be round 18, could be round 20, but even 18, I think they versus either the Cowboys or the Knights, the Storm, and that's the week after Origin, so Munster could get rested. So Hines could very well play that game with Pappenhausen. So as for Hines, I'm sort of holding him.
Yeah, very good insight there. Mikey, what are your plans with the 5 trades? I know massive talking point is how many do you need to use? Like, what's the ballpark number to use, and how many trades you've saved? What are you going with?
So very similar thinking to Jake. I've saved 2 like him, which clearly isn't enough. But as I said, if you use those trades wise and you look at your side and you go, yep, I'm fielding a strong 17 this week, which I believe I am, and there's another 3 to 4 guys in my team that I could happily play each week pending on injuries. So I'm definitely going to use all 5. Like Jake, and all these injuries, I am using 2 for keepers. So I'm bringing in 2 keepers that aren't playing the buy round, and 3 will be used to the buy round. Originally, I wanted to go really hard for the buy round, but instead I've changed my focus, thinking, look, if you're in this position with not many trades left, I'll be with 6 remaining after this week. Make sure that your team's set up at least, so then I don't really have to use too many more to set it up. At this point, I've sold Nicho Hynes. And now I'm also looking at it. I don't really need to sell Nicho Hynes if you sell Cleary. But, to me, I haven't really solidified my 5 trades. I've changed about 3 to 4 times. With the mail we keep getting every day, I think you got to think on your feet, and it's good to keep changing your team to have a look at what it looks like if you do these certain moves. But I think, you got to bring in a good number of buy plays this week to combat and still score decently next week. But, my main focus really is I want to do really good with the cash comps to finish the year. So, got to get a strong overall team going. Sabs, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. So, as we all know, on the podcast last week, I saved 1 trade, but Tim talked me into buying David Fifita. So I did that. I'm quite happy with it because I would have needed to burn a trade to get him anyway. So, I'm pretty happy with that. But in order to do that, instead of getting in Suwali last week, I got into Tomoko. And as we know, Tomoko's not named this week. So I'm in a sticky situation where at the moment I have 11 players playing for round 17. But here are some of the names in the 11. Ben Trebojevic, Matt Tomoko, Josh Schuster, and Josh Curran. So it could easily be 7 players that's if it goes to worst plan, and there could even be injuries to players I already have this week. So I'm setting up my team for my final 17. And I guess I'm going to take a bit of a hit in this round 17 if it doesn't go to plan. But with the amount of trades I haven't saved, I've really got to target a strong 17 and good backup throughout the year. So I am max trading this week, 5 trades.
Oh, my God.
Um, but mainly because like I was doing 3 trades before this, but with the Nathan Cleary news, I'm able to set up my team really strong, and it allows me to be in a position where I don't need to make any trades next week. Maybe one.
You say that now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's making 2 trades next week.
Oh my god, the guy's going to be maxed out by round 20. But look,
yeah, but one trade I'll need to make is Nico Hines to Ryan Pappenhausen, and I guess that's all I need to make because I'm getting in this week. I'm getting in Isaiah Papali'i. He hasn't been in my side all year and he's killing me, so I'm getting him in for TPJ. Getting in Tohu Harris, Sean Johnson. I'm doing something else, but I kind of want to keep this one to myself. But what are your trades, guys?
I'll go with
it.
mine. I'm bringing in Papali'i as well. Tohu Harris as well. I think they're pretty much must-haves for the run home, especially Tohu Harris with the bye next week.
Yep.
A bit light in the front row with TPJ going, so I'm bringing in Takeaho. It was either him or AFB, but I think Takeaho with, I guess, the Roosters' soft bench. If he didn't get sin-binned in the last game, he played 80 minutes and he probably scores about 60 points. So I'm keeping TKO. I'm bringing TKO in. I'm also bringing in Damien Cook because I need to do something with my hooking position. I got Connor Watson in there, so he's going for Damien Cook. He should torch the Tigers, and although he probably won't play maybe around 18, I think he's probably one of the top hookers for the run home with Harry Grant kind of being injured, and I guess Brandon Smith, but with Harry Grant potentially coming back, he's kind of not much of a trade-in. Another one's just enough.
Nice. So you're not selling Cleary at the moment?
No, not at the moment. I was just talking to you before. We came on air about it. I don't really haven't like any of the options at the moment. I got Sean Johnson already, so he's going to be my starting halfback. And Nikorima is the one I'm sort of looking at, but Chad Townsend going to the club and Nikorima also having an ankle injury. I'm nervous he might lose a goal kicking or be less of a impact player. So actually, I'm waiting on him. If he, doesn't turn out to be all right, then I think Jerome Hughes is probably the next best halfback. So I'll probably bring him after 17.
Okay, awesome. Mikey, who are you trading in? But first, I guess we should just talk about it now. Nathan Cleary, what to do with him? Is he a sell if you haven't saved trades, or is he a sell if you have? What's your thought process on Nathan Cleary? He's out, confirmed today. He'll be out from 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh man, it's such a headache. Like, it's a decision where honestly, don't listen to everyone else. You do what you need to do. Up until 20 minutes before the show, I was like, nah, screw it, we're holding him. Because I think it could be Supercoach suicide, which a lot of us would be aware if, he comes back after that 4 weeks and starts playing the way he did. It's tough because he's going to come back. He's going to be hampered. There's going to be games where he could be rested. There's so much question marks. And the biggest thing of all is he costs 1 mil. It's a lot of money to hold for 4 weeks. Realistically, one of those weeks. So basically, the thing you got to look at here is round 17 and 18, we weren't expecting him to play anyways. So if he returns in 4 weeks, you're only missing him for 2 games. I think that's a hold. But if he misses any more than that, it's dangerous. If he comes back hampered, it's dangerous for the money. But I think it's a decision that's going to define your Supercoach season. So, yeah, I've sold him at this stage. Mainly because now I can field more numbers for the buy next round. And I think, literally I've just changed all my trades now after talking to you boys. I'm keeping Nico Hines. So I think it's, if you can sell Cleary and you set your side up even more, but by selling him, RIP, I won't be getting him back in. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it with your limited trades. Unless you've saved more than 4, I think for sure sell him, have a way to get him back by nothing out later. But yeah, for me, by selling him, there's no way you're going to get him back.
And I think on the selling him, you're splash, like everyone's going to be splashing that cash around their whole club, so they're going to have no spare cash to then, like, he's going to be a mil when he comes back. Like, I don't know how you're going to raise enough money. Like, say you're nuffing someone, you're going to have to nuff a 500k player and then also have a,
That's still you're still going to
some
waste
bank
really a
plus
trade getting him out, and then 2 trades to get him back in. So
Yeah.
I think it's if you sell Cleary, unless you've got this massive, like if you sell Nico Hines and Cleary this week and you keep about 500 on you, then what's the point? You're probably better off holding Cleary if you're not going to use the money. So um, it's different for everyone's team. Like example now, I'm holding on to people like Madison and Bromwich, and I can sell Spencer Linu to Isaiah Papali'i. Like I can make my team a lot stronger with it. But yeah, it's like if you hold him for 4 weeks and he comes back injured, or he comes back and it's too much. Yeah, it's very risky. I think to hold him. Sabs, what are you doing?
So I'm selling. I think I'm basing this off. I mean, $1 million on the bench for at least 4 weeks, and let's be honest, if they win enough games, that they'll stretch it out to 6 weeks, maybe 7 weeks if they need to. I think it's just so much money, and like I did the trades, just seeing what I can do with the cash, and honestly, every position I was able to get a gun, and it just like it makes the balance of my side so good. I think if you're holding on to him, you're really relying on him coming back straight away and scoring bloody a ton after ton after ton because. And honestly, he might not do that. His first game back could potentially be Melbourne, which is round
20.
Round 20, and that's how long away is that? So
That's in between 4 to 5 weeks there.
yeah. So Broncos.
Well, really remember 17, 18, you weren't expecting him to play anyway, so you've got to look at it like that. If he comes back in round 20, he's missed 2 games.
Yeah,
so
but that's
the key
best.
thing
That's
about
best
there.
case scenario as well.
Yep.
Plays the Roosters in round 21, so that's the 6 weeks marks. He scored 140 against the Roosters. He can score big against anyone, but is he going to get managed mid game? Is he? Are they going to adapt to a different style without him there? I don't think so, but I think he'll become more of the game manager on the field rather than taking the game on too much before the finals. I think he'll just be coming back just to get some match fitness. I don't know. I guess I'm just trying to talk myself out of needing him for that last period. But who knows? What do you think, Jake?
Well, I think Penrith will kind of be circling in that game against Melbourne because that pretty much could be for the minor premiership, that game. I guess Penrith win that game, they're potentially going to go all the way, although I think Melbourne are they 1 or 2 wins ahead of them?
Yeah, to be honest, well, they're completely equal at the moment. But the thing is, I don't think they really care too much about the minor premiership. We won the minor premiership last year and we didn't win the comp. The focus is going to be winning the comp. We'll want to finish in the top 2, obviously, to get a home final. But I think as long as they stay in the top 4 and they can do a lot of that without Nathan Cleary and get him, it depends. If Penrith win the next 3 to 4 games, I reckon they're not going to rush Cleary back as much. So it's a lot depending on how they go. But yeah, with all that risk, I think if you're holding on, you're holding 1.1 mil on your sideline. So it's honestly, I don't have a proper answer. I think no matter what we're both doing, we're not going to know. It's kind of like when everyone sold Pappenhausen at first, and we didn't know if that was crazy or a genius move, and that turned out to be the right move in selling him. But we're yet again, this one's even trickier than that one.
That's true. All right, so all right, if you're trading out Cleary, who are your options? Obviously, we've gone through Sean Johnson. Jerome Hughes is probably the second best halfback. Who else? What sort of halves?
I think they're the only 2 in my opinion. Unless you then have a dual. If you already own Johnson, you could move Johnson up to halfback and buy 5'8", which I also don't mind. But yeah, realistically in the halfback spot, there's not another 2 that I want personally. I've gone to Johnson. If there wasn't an option like that, I probably would hold. But at the same time, surely one of the Panthers are a winner from this. I was selling Jerome Luai all week to Sean Johnson until this clear injury happened. I was like, sweet, I'm holding on to Luai now. I think Luai could be the big winner from this. He'll steer the attack. I know Burton will demand a lot of ball, but I think Luai can step back to what he was scoring earlier in the year. Sabs, what do you think?
It's a very tough one that's team dependent. Hey, I honestly think that regardless, you've got to sell. but however many trades you got left will determine whether you get him back or not. I think that's the stinger. If you ranked up quite high, I mean, you'd want to sell to keep up your points, but then you want to get him back as well. So honestly, there's no black and white answer. You're going to need to use 3 trades to get him back, because you're going to need enough out two pretty good players, and then sell your gun half in SJ or something up to him. So unless you wait one or 2 matches and see how he goes, if he scores 70s, then he might go down to 800k. That could be a realistic situation. But yeah, I think he's a sell, because he's not guaranteed to come back into the form that he has been showing us all year.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Sabs. But I think you nailed it on the head. It's very team dependent. But I think in most cases, you're looking at a sell for Cleary. But I can see a world where you hold him and it pays off. But if it doesn't, it will end your season. That's how big this call will be.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough one. And I mean, I'd hate to be ranked in the top 100 right now, because this would be the biggest headache of the season. And as I said earlier, like certain decisions like this ruin your week, especially if you're in the top 100. I'm just glad I'm not there anymore. Not my choice.
I think if you have, I think obviously a lot of what we're talking about will be dependent on people that haven't saved trades. I think if you've saved 4 to 5 plus trades, it's a very easy decision. Sell him, and you can burn some trades later to get him back. So if you held on to, this just shows you why how crucial it is to hold on to trades, because it changes this whole week for you.
Yep, that's for sure. So
my trades quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so very similar to Jake. Yet again, we think very similar. I got rid of Watson to Cook. That finishes my hookers. I did want to end on Harry Grant, but similar to what everyone else is thinking, it's just that those hamstring injuries and the amount of injuries he's having. I'll go to Cook and hope Cook can resurge in form with those weaker matchups. If he doesn't, he's got about a 45 floor. So I'll take the punt on that. The next one, I've gone Spencer Linu up to Isaiah Papali'i. Solid keeper. So they're my 2 that won't play the bye round. I've then changed and gone TPJ to Adam Fanua-Blake. I own TKO in the year. I don't know if he'll keep up 80 minutes. I really think Fanua-Blake can step up with some attacking stats, and he's a perfect guy to play as your 17th man, or he's a great backup front rower. So that completes my front row. The next trade, Tohu Harris, as you said, he's a must-have for this bye round. I've sold Josh Curran to him. Although Josh Curran will come out of isolation on that Saturday, he'll have no training or fitness. So I think I'll punt him, even if for some reason he plays, but I think is highly unlikely. I've gone Cleary to Sean Johnson, and I'm pretty sure that's my 5 trades right there. Up until I was selling Nico Hines all week to Campbell Graham, which is absolutely crazy, because if he gets named 18th man for Blues, it will hurt me. But at the same time, he's only at 1% ownership. A lot of people are scared off him from that point of view. But yeah, with these matchups and Cody Walker shifting from left to right a lot, I think he's a sneaky pickup, man. But now with I've got now 200k left over. I think I'll wait a week, see what happens with Origin, and next week I'll grab either him or Tupou to finish my bye round team. But yeah, that's my plan. I guess moving on.
I like it. So we're all setting our teams up to pretty much not have to use any trades post round 18, I guess.
Yeah, my plan will be to use some probably 1 or 2 next week, and then the rest will be just to injuries and to maybe to get David Fifita. That's it.
Very nice. And will the plan be to go Nico Hines to Pappenhausen, guys, in round 18?
I won't be able to do that. He's in centre wing. I got Gutho and Turbo. The only way I'll be selling Hines will be Hines will have to go to a centre wing.
Okay, I want to bring across a scenario to you, possibly. Sell Gutho for Ruben Garrick this week.
No.
No?
No, look,
Gutho versus Penrith, moving Hines up to fullback, and then that's your straight ticket, Hines to Pappenhausen in round 18. You're getting in Garrick, who against the Bulldogs this week, hopefully can go 100 plus again. If you're not getting in Garrick, get in someone else, but I think Gutho is a sell over half of these guys this week. because Gutho's not going to be in your side post round 18, and you may as well pull the trigger now because he's not going to turn up this week. I guarantee you.
Look, man, don't underestimate what getting a Nathan Cleary-less Panther side could dish up. So, but yeah, mainly it's hard because if you get someone like Gutho in, you've already heard my other 5 trades. Getting all those guys that I just did has completed like 4 of my positions. So I'm not willing to get rid of Gutho when I still think he can score okay against Penrith. Yeah, I'm not, I'm going to wait and see. I want to see Ponga come back fit. I want to see Pappenhausen come back fit. I haven't made up my mind that who my finishing fullback will be. Like, I don't mind holding Gufferson. He has Titans and Canberra after Penrith. That's not horrible. You probably want to sell him by around 20. But, yeah, like, I understand I don't mind Garrick as a buy, but at the same time, yeah, I just don't think now's the time. If there's 5 other guys you want to need, I don't think the time to sell Gutho is now. But yeah, it's going to be hard. Hopefully Hines finds a spot in the starting lineup, but it's going to be interesting to see what Bellamy does with his side.
Yeah, that's for sure. We haven't put up any Facebook questions today, so it looks like we're just going to roll through without the Facebook questions.
Yeah, I think with all the issues too, it's probably a good thing because there's a lot of talking points.
There is a lot of issues. So how many are we fielding for round 17, Jake?
I've only got 3 that aren't playing actually. So I've got my 2 injuries in my half. So Cleary and Schuster aren't playing, and Sawali isn't playing. But other than that, I've got everyone playing. So I've got players to choose from.
Round 17.
Oh, round 17, sorry. It's looking like 11.
11?
Yes.
Is that
pending Nathan Cleary?
And
if I decide to get rid of him.
Next week's trades?
Yeah, at the moment it's 10.
Okay. Mikey, how many?
I've got 11 right now. Which is pretty good. Obviously, if Walker gets picked to Origin, that could hurt me. Which I think that's a decent number. I will be getting a 12th. I could possibly get 13. But yeah, if those 11 are all named next week, I will be using one trade next week to get to 12. But I'm happy to field anywhere between 11 to 12. 13 if I think I can get a good keeper. But yeah, I think 12 is the number I've been trying to hit. What about you, Saz?
Well, yeah, as I said before, I've got 11 at the moment, but Ben Trebojevic, Matt Tomoko, Schuster, and
Ben Trebojevic is in mine as well. But
if Cody Walker gets picked for Origin, I could be dire straits for my side.
I don't think Cody Walker gets picked though.
No, but there's a chance. Like, there's a chance if maybe they move Whiten in, he could come onto the bench if he has a barnstormer against the Tigers this week. That don't rule it out. I don't think it's going to happen, but I don't think you can rule that out.
Yeah, I don't think you can either. But I'd rather see who do you think's going to be there? Like, honestly, I think A-Ray is the best like-for-like replacement, but I have a feeling Mitchell Moses is going to play.
No, yeah. You're probably right, but I think, A-Ray compliments would be the closest person you could pick to Nathan Cleary. The same style of kicking game and, can kick goals as well. So I think it should be Adam Reynolds, and I think that'd be good for super coaches too.
Yeah, awesome. Top Sport have jumped on board for the Supercoach experience. So if you want to sign up for them, use our code SCEXPERIENCE and they'll take care of you. Gamble responsibly, over 18. Top Sport's a really good betting company, and we've been using them for a while now, and they've got really good markets out there. So check them out and use the code SCEXPERIENCE to get them to sort you out. So moving on.
Yes.
All right. So quickly, we're going to talk about our best targets for round 17. We always do this leading up to the buys, which players we want to target. And if we had an unlimited amount of money, if we had unlimited amount of trades, who would be getting in? So I'll start with you, Jake. If you had an unlimited amount of trades and money and stuff, who would you be aiming to get in this week that you don't have in your side at the moment?
Well, apart from the ones I've actually brought in, one would be, I think, Ruben Garrick, and we've kind of already mentioned how he sort of go. He's ever since Tommy's come back, he's been the top centre wing. But other than him, I guess Daniel Tupou I'm looking at for next week. And like Mikey said before, I was looking at Campbell Graham for possibly this week as well against the Tigers. But yeah, I think with the possibility there might be 18th man and missing out, I'm kind of going to wait on him as well. But
yeah, that's why it's a super move if you do it.
Yeah, and I guess for some reason South's always decided to go left instead of right. But I guess with Latrell sort of there this week, there's better chance of them going right. Marty Tapau, I think, is kind of one that's kind of gone under the radar a bit in the front row. Although it's been kind of a dog's breakfast, I think we've called the front row a lot this year. But
Yep.
Marty Tapau, he's kind of been one of the mainstays in Manly. They have 4 players on the bench, but they never seem to use them. And he's sort of been playing decent enough minutes and has that offload, has good tacking stats. So I think Marty Tapau is probably one, if you've got luxury in trades and you've got enough cash, I would have probably brought in Tapau instead of, say, a TKO or an AFB this week.
Yeah, I actually, just looking at him now, he's raised his minutes up to about 55 minutes, whereas in the past, he's kind of stuck around 40 to 45. So the numbers he's producing in the last few weeks, 94, 67, 55, 69, 53. Pretty good. But I guess if you think Manly going to carve up and score points elsewhere, that's when he scores kind of less. It's when...
It's the tougher games.
Yeah.
The more grinding games.
Yeah. Although his better scores here are when Manly put on 50 on teams, like 94 against the Broncos, 69 against the Cowboys.
They have sort of torched a lot of teams recently, Manly, though.
Yeah. They're going to win the comp.
Don't know about that. I think you're a bit carried away there.
Mikey.
Definitely carried away.
Mikey, who are your players that you're thinking?
So, yeah, I mentioned quite a couple of them. Marty Tapau was one highly on my radar all week, but I just think the price point for AFB, the 400k was a bit better for my side, because if you're selling Cleary, you want to have, some depth of money to show for it. But yeah, I think there's a lot of value this round in the centre wings. There's a lot of centre wings you can pick up and then hold for the rest of the year. So, Campbell Graham I already discussed heavily. I think he's a very good purchase, but maybe he's one for next week. It just sucks if he goes 100 plus this week, you'll have to pay for it. But if you sold Clear and you've got a reserve of money, I don't think it matters. The big other one that I was looking at, so I had Daniel Tupou and Campbell Graham. It was a battle between them, but I think, that's a problem for next week. But either way, we're discussing plays you can bring in for that buy. Matty Cavallo is the one I want to bring up. Only owned by 1% of teams. He's 454k and he has a break even of 45. He does play the Storm this week, but when he played the Storm last, he scored 72 against him. Sam Walker's back this week. Maybe they can give Melbourne a bit of a run. I don't think they'll beat Melbourne, but maybe they can give them a bit of a run. But their draw does open up after this week. They play Bulldogs, Cowboys, and Knights, so they've got a very nice 3-game draw. And I think someone like Ikavalu is a perfect 5th centre wing. You can play him on those matchups, and then when he goes into like a Para Penrith, you can choose when or not to. I just think on his wing, look how many tries Brett Morris scored. He's already proved he can score those tries. I like his work rate. So, I think he's a great pot and he'll be overlooked, and he's at a cheap price. I don't see him really going too expensive next week. So next week will be a tough decision between those 3 I mentioned to get in.
I like it. Personally, I think, Ruben Garrick, as you said, Jake, he's just been on a tear as soon as Tommy's been back. Even before then, he scored, his lowest score is 22 in round 2. But besides that, let me have a look here. So 58 in round 1 without Tommy in a losing 44-0, 44-6 whopping against the Roosters, 88 against St. George, 33 against Penrith, which is understandable, 49 against New Zealand. And then, he's just absolutely killed it since then. He has 5 tons, which is ridiculous. And I honestly couldn't bite the bullet, but I think this year he's genuine. Do you think he'll fall off at all, Mikey? Because that's what I've been waiting for.
It's like one of those cases where I always bring up Jack Reed, but it was like one that you just never jumped on because like, he can't keep this up, and he did. So, yeah, trust your gut, go with it. It is a bit of money to pay for him, but yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Also, another one is okay. I've got to admit another trade in that I've got myself this week. Jesse Ramian.
Iranian noodles.
Yeah, I got him in last week.
I scored 50 last week. He only had like a line break assist or a line break or something. Hey.
Yeah.
And then the week before he had a line break in there as well and scored 50 50 as well. So his base is good, man.
Yeah, so he's scoring very well. And he's had that big 100 game. He hasn't had too many of them though, so I'm expecting him to go on a run soon. Playing the Broncos this week, 2 p.m. on Sunday. So that's a brilliant time to have a center on a dry track play, especially at Suncorp. It's a bit wet in Sydney this week, so yeah. And he's playing the Warriors the week after. He's got the Raiders, Bulldogs, Manly, Warriors, Knights, Tigers, Broncos. So they've got an awesome draw on the way home.
Mate, the Sharkies have a good run, mate. We are powering through to the finals, let me say.
Yeah, they probably will make the 8, especially if they just keep that team together. But yeah, the main reason I got Raymond in is I wasn't originally doing it. I was originally going Watson to Cook like you guys, but I looked at my center wing and I was playing Nofo this week, and on my bench I had Ben Trebojevic, Tomoko, and who else did I have? Sorry.
Well, there's a COVID case for tomorrow.
Yep. And I also had David Nofaluma. Who did I sell to get him? I don't know. Oh, Bradman Best. I had Bradman Best. So I needed to shore up my center wing, and I think Jesse Ramian was a perfect build for it. As you guys know, I was really keen on Marcelo Montoya. But
wait, were you really?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, I thought you were joking when you said that.
No, he was. He's been very
keen. I was really keen, but he was named in centre this week, so I don't think I can touch him. I only touch him if he's named on the wing. But that wasn't to be. But I think that's all I've got for this week. Luke Thompson is another one, Mikey. You've got him?
Yeah, I got him. I think he's solid. I know he got 42 on the weekend, but that was with 10 in the bin, like Tico. 10 in the bin, and he would have had another 10 minutes where he could have scored points. So, yeah, he's a pretty safe guy for about 58 points. 524k, I think it's a good price, and that dual front row, second row. Honestly, there is a lot of front rows you can use. Like, I've got 4 for the run home now with Papali'i, Thompson, Paulo, and Fanua Blake. I think there's enough good front rows out there to, put a bit of depth in there and, rotate him with the second rows. It's not as bad as it looked at the start of the season. It's gotten better as it's gone on, and I don't mind a guy that you can plug in each week that will get you a safe 60. I think that can be, very vital, especially in head-to-head final matchups.
Yeah, here's another quick one. Instead of going Cook, maybe Josh Hodgson. He's really picked it up the last few weeks with scores of 79, 46, and 73. Also 72 and 32. His minutes are kind of all over the place, 63, 34, 80, 65, and 80. But he's really... he's picked it up from where he was at the start of the year, and he's probably underpriced as it is. Would you guys consider that at all, or is Cook definitely the one for the run home? I see the hooker position as being a little bit of a wasteland because I was always aiming to get Harry Grant in, but considering he's only playing 60 minutes when he is playing, and with the injuries looming, I don't know who the best hooker option is, to be honest, and I think you could really toss a coin with a handful of guys.
Yeah, it's a gamble, man. I think you just got to pick a guy that you think will do well, have a look a bit at the draws, and choose from there. I just look at it, and the reason I made it a priority this week was purely because I don't want to keep having to play Brayley and Watson. Have a look at it. I expect them to get better with their team starting to get back on the park, but having Brayley and Watson keep scoring 30s, that's dangerous to keep playing. I'm keeping Brayley over Watson purely for the scores that he's dished up, and he can dish up some pretty decent base stats if he can get off the back of his forwards. But yeah, I think, I needed to get in a hooker, and I think Cook's the next best after Harry Grant. So, Cook has these games where he can score 100, and that's what you're looking for when when you're buying it. What are you doing with your hookers? Have you're sticking with Brayley and Watson for now?
Yeah, I really wanted to get rid of Watson so I could play a Damien Cook and didn't have to play Brayley, but I feel like these are other trades I'm really prioritising. So I've gone Gutherson to Garrick. I've gone Bradman Best to Ramian, Cleary to Johnson, TPJ to Harris, Utakamanu to Papali. So that's all the 5 trades. And I feel like they're all priorities over the hooker position. If I have to leave Brayley there, I might have to leave Brayley there. That's the reality.
I've got another one to sort of throw in the mix at hooker. I know he's playing for the Bulldogs, but Jeremy Marshall-King, the last couple of weeks he's been playing in full 80, and they haven't. And he's been scoring all right. He's got 75 and 66. And I mean, if someone's guaranteed 80, which not a lot of hookers are, what is he at? 447.
447. Yep.
Why
does
is
love to run the ball.
80? Is it because of Katoa? What's wrong with Katoa?
Katoa must be coming on and playing middle. He's playing 8 minutes in the middle.
But I think they got a few players away with that. There might be a hooker on the bench actually. I don't really know. There's a lot of names on the Bulldogs bench I've never heard of before because of all their players are in COVID lockdown. But I mean, if he keeps it up the last couple of weeks, he's a bit of a pod and he's going like all right if he's staying 80 compared to every other hooker. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Same like you threw in Josh Hodgson, who I was also looking at as well. So I just thought I'd throw him in there.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a very good buy around hooker. So I think it's better to go for the run home. Another one, if you're super crazy, is Kieran Foran, who is actually very popular on the buys this week. I don't like it, but he's been bought in by 3,400 now, and you're 320. I think people are looking at that minus 37 break even, and licking their lips because he scored 60 and 96 in the last 2 weeks. Like. Look, man, like it could be a crazy move that could work because, if you like Savs and think Manly are going to win the comp, then, they still get to play the Bulldogs twice. They've still got to play Tigers, Drag. Like, their draw's really nice when you look at it. They've got Storm and Sharks and Eels, who I think will be tough games for him. But other than that, there are games where you really think Manly are going to pack on some points. So maybe it's not as crazy as it looks.
Yeah, it's just very hard because he doesn't seem like the Supercoach player, like really relying on attacking stats for him, really.
And also very injury prone.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
And I guess he'll be playing on the side where Tom sweeps around and Garrick scores the try. So he'll always get a TC for them sort of plays. So
maybe getting 4 points.
Getting 4 points when everyone else is getting 30 points. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know what I feel about it. Maybe a 2-week play if you've got trades, but that's about it.
I think if you sort of bring in the Foz, he's kind of a one you're going to plug there for the run home, I think. Because he's the one that you can play on matchups that can get a decent enough score.
Well, I think the main reason is people are getting him is because his break-even is minus 30 or something. So minus 37.
Fair.
No, but I think it's also, the buy coverage, and you look at the last 2 scores and they're going, holy crap, he's great.
Yeah.
But then you look at the rest of his scores and they're pretty ordinary.
Yeah, exactly right.
All right, guys, we'll move on to bold predictions and captain choices and we'll wrap it up.
Awesome, let's go.
I think our captaincy choices are going to be pretty similar.
All right, yeah, let's start off. Who's our captain?
Turbo.
I honestly haven't even looked at vice captains because I don't.
None of us said how we went last round. None of us ended up giving what our rank went to. But we're out of order today.
Well, Mike, I think you were the best one of the lot. I think me and Savs got around the same because we didn't captain Turbo.
Yeah, I got 40.
That's why I kept it quiet.
Yeah, I know. I never even got to boost it a bit. I got my highest Supercoach score ever, but up to 2,000. I went up 2,000 ranks. So yeah. Coming into a bit of form.
He's flying home.
Oh, I hope so.
I actually went down to rank 2,000. So,
I'm catching yourselves.
As I said before, like I'm on the decline, but I feel happier about it. Like I just feel like I don't care what my trades are. Like it's pretty fun. Like
you will when you have none.
Yeah, well, exactly. So over the next couple of weeks, I'll just if I move up, I'll be stoked. But if I go down, I'll be like, oh. yeah, I'll probably be pretty sad. But
Yeah.
It'd be like, just be like, next season. I said that after round one.
yeah.
Well, back to the captain. Sorry to change the subject there. Quickly, do we think there is any thought of somebody other than Tom that you can captain? Like, is there any other way that you can captain anyone other than Tom?
There is.
Personally, I think Cody Walker can be a pod option against the Tigers. But
I agree.
He's a dangerous one because he can also have a low stinker, and also Tom can go massive. So I guess VC Turbo, Captain Walker, but
I think it'd be a dangerous round to cop a loop, because if you think and you have a look at the amount of people that are selling Cleary and the amount that probably will join on to the bandwagon, you're going to have teams that are going to be bringing in 5 strong players this round. If you're selling Cleary, you're going to be bringing in some really big name players.
Yep.
So if you're doing that, you're not going to want to have to cop an AE, because, example, like right now, like I'm having to leave out Madison and Barnett. That's how strong my side's become. So it's tough, because I don't think you can cop a loop. So I think it is absolute suicide not to have it on Tom. I don't think it's a week to try and do a pod move with the captains. I think it's a week to do pod moves of who you bring in.
Yep, I agree.
VC?
Is there a world where Tom doesn't do amazing this week? Because this is the kind of week that it just reminds me back to there was a week
Cleary against the Dogs. Cleary only got 50-something against the Bulldogs.
This is exactly the week where everyone thought Cleary was going to get 200 after coming off 225 and a 190, that you had to captain him this week. Do you get cute with it, or is Tom just a different player?
Tom is a different player. The Bulldogs have been fighting. The Bulldogs have looked so much better the past fortnight of playing games, and they put a fight up against the Eels. You know, Gutho only managed to get 90 points against them. Sub that.
Only 90.
Yeah, only 90. But the thing is, I think it's too risky not to have it on him. If he gets, Tom only, I don't think Tom's going to go superhuman, but I just think it's too risky not to have it on him, because look what he's been doing up against some stronger matchups. So, but yeah, the Bulldogs, I don't think they'll be as a pushover as what everyone else thinks.
And Tom's also under a bit of an injury cloud. I know he picked up that knock in Origin, so I don't know if he's going to be 100% for Saturday.
He's being cleared, and he should play, unless Desi's playing tricks of us all. But
he's done it before, old Desi.
Yeah. So vice captains, if you captain and Tom, it only leaves you with 3 games you can VC from. Jake?
Yeah, mine's just on Nico Hines. I think of the players before that, he's really the only one that can go huge.
Mine's Cody Nikorima.
Tom Turbo, huge. Oh, he's been
all right.
Nice.
And mine, a similar thing. I don't want to go generic to everyone else if I don't think I'm going to loop. I'm going Jerome Hughes, who, I think could have a big game against the Roosters, so he'll be my pod VC. Sure. As I think everyone will jam Hines too.
Awesome. And bold predictions for the week, guys.
Who's going to kick it off?
I can, if you like.
All right, Mike, you go for it.
All right, we'll go. Well, let's start crazy. We're going to go Tom under 100.
Yep.
He's going to go under 100. I was still thinking a 90-ish, but I'll just say under 100.
Yep.
99 or below. My next one will be Campbell Graham, because if I really regret not, late minute trading him out, or reversing him, I should say. I really want to try and nail the bold prediction on him at least. We'll go him to back it up and go 80 plus, and make it a bit, make him over 500k to get next week. So yeah, we'll go 80 plus for Campbell Graham, and to make it a trifecta, we're gonna go Jerome Hughes. He's gonna ton up against the Roosters.
Nice.
All right, I'll go in here. I'm going to say Tom Turbo will become a $1 million player this week, which means I think he has to get 150 to go to $1 million. I'm going to say SJ to score a ton against the Broncos, and I'm going to say Cody Walker 120 plus against the Tigers.
Nice. All right. I'm going to go Tom and Ruben Garrick.
Oh, here we go. Combined one again.
Tom and Ruben Garrick to get 400 between them.
Oh, right.
400 between them?
Yes.
Are you serious? So you're relying on both of them to score 200, basically.
No, Tom to 260 and
Oh, wow.
Don't do any more. Don't do any more. If you're gonna just do that,
You can just do that one, mate.
he's going to go again.
all right. How about Tom 250? Tom 250 plus, and then
Jesus, really swore them.
and then Garrick.
You don't need to do anything else. If you're gonna prick him to all right, yeah.
No,
chuck
I'm
something
going to
else.
do another one, and
Oh,
then
God.
and then Ramian 100 plus and Johnson 100 plus.
This guy, man.
Oh,
I
goodness.
like your confidence, mate. I like your balls, big balls.
Tommy Turbo 250 to obliterate the record.
That's the
Wow.
biggest bold prediction of the year.
Yeah, if you get it, mate, be a big.
And I was just
big
the one.
celebration.
I was just the one questioning whether he's actually going to go big this week.
Yeah, that's all. I'm going a bit the antipod there. Although I'm captain him, so I hope your bold prediction's right, Sabs. But everyone will be in the same boat. So really, if you get that, you'll just be looking at your highest score ever.
Yeah,
Which
pretty
is-
much.
And,
Most of us anyways.
probably the highest score ever in Supercoach. That'll probably get broken for the fifth time
That's
this
probably
year.
a good bold prediction for this week. I think it'll get broken again. I think for sure it's going to get broken again. You think so?
It's so possible, especially with guys like Tommy and like
And
I
Garrick.
think
The
I reckon
matchups this round.
Pappenhausen would have broken it this year if he was fit.
Yeah, but I definitely think if Cleary didn't get this injury, I think Cleary can better what he's already done too. I know you think Tom's to take, but yeah, I think whatever Tom takes, Cleary will get back.
Well, you just think about it. Someone with goal kicking is
Yeah,
always
if Tom goal kicked.
if
Yeah,
Tom
well,
goal,
that and the amount of points he scores off his boots if it's forced dropouts, and just that boot like alone outscores so many other Supercoach players.
Yeah,
Just his kicking.
100%. It's just Brad. He probably gets more points than Brad Parker does just with his boot.
Yeah,
That's
he
hard.
gets a lot more than a lot other
Yeah.
people too.
He only averages like 32. Brad Parker. That's what.
So are you saying that you're bringing Brad Parker this week?
No.
So we keep
Did you end up
mentioning?
revealing your secret weapon?
Yeah, it was Ramian, not that secret.
No, it wasn't
Yeah.
Rain. No, it wasn't
Oh, it was a
Rain.
different one.
No,
So
it was
there's one you've held on to.
No, it was Gutherson. It was Gutherson to Ruben Garrick. I thought
So
it was.
you have brought in Ruben Garrick?
Yeah, I thought it was much more sneaky than it seemed at the time. But you guys just didn't bat an eyelid at all. So.
No, because
you
8,000
mentioned it.
people have brought him in, so that's why it's.
Oh
not
yeah, but I
super bold.
thought selling Gutherson was the was like the smart move because no one's selling
Oh, it's-
Gutherson. Gutherson isn't in the top 10 sold.
No, because of all the other problems, and I don't think even against Penrith you can't just sell for one bad matchup.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
not going to be a hold till the end of the year. That's why I'm kind of
He
selling
could
him
be.
now.
He could. I think with all
I
the
think he's
other.
the second highest scoring player, isn't he? Gutherson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think he could. The thing is, they do end with Melbourne Penrith, so I definitely think he will need to be sold, but I don't think it needs to be now.
Fair enough.
Yep. All right.
Cool. All right.
Good episode, lad.
Thanks for jumping on. Good to be back and good to have a break, to be honest. And
No, it was.
yeah, hopefully we can watch Tom go over and get 250 this week.
Good luck with your trades, and let's hope your Cleary call's right.
Yes, good luck, everyone.
Would anybody like some pound cake? I'd like some pound cake. Some cake. I'd like some pound cake. Some cake. Some pound cake. Some cake. I'd like some pound cake. Some cake. I'd like some pound cake. Some cake. I'd like some pound cake. Some
I'd like some boon cake.